It's game night around the world. In Toronto, fans crowd the Stanley Cup playoffs. In Mumbai, the IPL is in full swing. In Paris, cafes pulse with Champions League football. And in Boston, the Celtics chase another NBA title. At the same time, pirates are hard at work. Hidden servers, shady apps, sketchy sites, all streaming these matches to millions for free, convinced they can't be stopped. But the rules of the game have changed. Algorithms now act as referees. AI tools fingerprint broadcasts, trace pirate feeds, and faster than a 3 Palomer at the buzzer. Courts issue live blocking orders, screens go dark mid-match, piracy benched, game over. It's the reality of today's IP enforcement unfolding across Canada, Spain, France, India, Ireland, and beyond.
You are listening to Intangiblia, the podcast of intangible law, plain talk about intellectual property. Please welcome your host, Leticia Caminero.
Welcome to Intangiblia, the podcast where intellectual property meets the real-world systems that protect it. I'm your host, Leticia Caminero.
I'm Artemisa, your beloved AI co-host.
Today, we're exploring how artificial intelligence has become the new referee of global sports. From hockey and basketball in North America to football in Europe to cricket in India, courts are increasingly relying on AI detection tools to enforce IP rights. These aren't traditional takedowns or after-the-fact lawsuits. We're talking dynamic, real-time injunctions where an algorithm can flag a pirate server and within minutes, an internet provider is ordered to shut it down.
It's like having VAR, Hawkeye, and the third umpire rolled into one, but instead of calling goals, line calls, or LBWs, the machine is calling out piracy.
And in today's episode, we'll take you through 12 cases from the last 4 years where algorithms have stepped out of the lab and onto the legal pitch.
So grab your jerseys, cricket bats, or hockey sticks, because this one's going into overtime.
Before we kick things off, a quick timeout. What you hear on Intangiblia is for information and commentary only.
Translation, we're calling plays, not giving you a playbook for court.
Exactly. If you need legal advice, consult a qualified lawyer in your jurisdiction.
Preferably one who won't try to explain copyright law with cricket metaphors.
Or football offside rules.
Don't even get me started. Point is, this is not legal advice. It's a highlight reel.
And now let's get back on the field. You know, I almost feel bad for the Pirates. They line up their streams like a team ready to play, thinking they've got the perfect strategy.
And then the algorithm blows the whistle, offside foul, game over.
In cricket terms, they barely make it to the crease before getting bowled out.
Or in hockey, they don't even clear the blue line before the ref sends them to the penalty box.
The truth is, courts are treating these AI tools like referees, keeping the game fair, protecting the rights holders, and shutting down foul play in real time.
And honestly, every time a pirate stream goes dark mid-match, it feels like a buzzer beater for the rule of law.
On that note, let's lace up and head into our first case. Straight to Canada, where hockey, basketball, and football collided in one of the boldest site-blocking rulings yet. Let's start in Canada. July 2024, the federal court hands down a landmark ruling in Rogers Media Inc. video John Doe 1. At the heart of it, live sports piracy, hockey, basketball, Premier League football, streams being siphoned off and delivered illegally.
And not just after the fact. We're talking live, in the moment. Imagine paying for cable, but your neighbor just grabs the signal online for free with thousands of his closest friends.
To fight that, broadcasters like Rogers, Bell, and Fubo TV came armed with an unusual weapon: automated detection. They partnered with Friend MTS, a company that uses fingerprinting and AI-driven monitoring to spot pirate streams the moment they go live.
Think of it as Shazam, but for stolen sports. The system listens to the feed, recognizes the match, then traces the illegal stream back to the delivery server. And it doesn't sleep. It runs constantly, faster than any human anti-piracy team could.
The rights holders didn't just wave this tech around as a gadget. They built sworn affidavits showing that within minutes of a match starting, the AI could identify unauthorized feeds and pinpoint the servers.
And here's the kicker. The federal court bought it. The judge authorized something Canada had never done before at this scale, a dynamic site blocking order. ISPs were told to block servers in real time with updates rolling in during games.
The order was carefully balanced. ISPs had to act quickly, but there were also safeguards against false positives, with Friend MTS acting as the referee if a legitimate site got flagged by mistake.
Which is kind of ironic. You need a watchdog for the watchdog. AI might be fast, but courts still want a human in the loop.
The outcome was significant. The streams went dark, the precedent was set, and Canada joined countries like Spain and Ireland in trusting AI-assisted detection to support sweeping enforcement orders.
Translation, if you were hoping to watch the Stanley Cup for free on some shady site, better start budgeting for cable.
And this case also shows how courts are moving beyond traditional takedowns. They're experimenting with dynamic rolling enforcement that matches the speed of infringement.
Dynamic justice in action, baby. Case 1, the algorithm scores.
Our second stop stays in Canada, but this time it's bigger than just one case against John Doe pirates. Here, the country's largest video service providers banded together to fight streaming piracy on a national scale.
Right? Think Rogers, Bell, and the other heavyweights. Instead of playing whack-a-mole with individual sites, they went to court saying, give us the power to shut down pirate delivery servers across the entire network instantly.
Their evidence came straight from Fran MTS again. The company provided affidavits showing how its AI-assisted fingerprinting system scans live broadcasts, identifies pirate streams, and maps them back to delivery infrastructure.
Translation, the bots hunt down pirate servers like heat-seeking missiles. Once detected, the system generates a list of targets.
The applicants told the court that without this automated approach, piracy was simply too fast and too adaptive for traditional enforcement.
And here's the plot twist. The court agreed. The judge granted a sweeping order that authorized near-instant shutdown of pirate servers flagged by the system.
But again, safeguards mattered. The order required careful oversight. Any mistaken flagging had to be addressed, and there were strict reporting duties back to the court.
So we've got AI sniffing out the pirates, ISPs flipping the off snub, and the court keeping score, almost like a hockey game. Attackers, defenders, referees.
And the result? Broadcasters in Canada gained one of the most powerful tools yet against live streaming piracy backed by AI detection. It shifted the fight from chasing down websites after the fact to cutting off the pipeline at the source.
Scoreboard check pirates 0, algorithms 2.
And that brings us to Europe, where things get even more heated with La Liga in Spain.
Ah, sí, boo-boo. When Spain's top league gets involved, you know it's about to get spicy. And not with lawyers in suits alone. Picture this. Automated detection systems running 24/7, scanning the web for illegal La Liga streams, tracing them back to IP addresses. It's like a squad of digital referees blowing the whistle before kickoff.
In December 2024, Barcelona's commercial court, No. 6, upheld La Liga's right to use those systems. They targeted IP addresses, not just domains, linked to pirate streaming infrastructure.
You're not just blocking one shady website, you're cutting off the server that's feeding dozens of them.
Cloudflare, the internet services company, tried to challenge the ruling. They argued that these orders were overbroad and potentially unfair to legitimate services that might share the same IP.
Classic defense move. What if you block something innocent? But La Liga came prepared. They had technical affidavits showing that their AI-driven monitoring was accurate, that the servers flagged were dedicated to piracy, and that safeguards existed for errors.
In March 2025, the court rejected Cloudflare's annulment attempts and reaffirmed La Liga's dynamic blocking powers. The ruling emphasized that the harm from piracy outweighed the speculative risk of occasional false positives.
In other words, better to risk blocking one dodgy server too many than let millions watch El Clasico for free.
The result set a powerful precedent. Spain became one of the first jurisdictions in Europe to normalize IP-level blocking based on AI-assisted detection pipelines.
And let's not forget the symbolism. La Liga scored a legal hat trick, automated detection, court validation, and a knockout against Cloudflare.
It shows how rights holders are pushing the boundaries of what courts will accept as reliable, tech-driven evidence.
And honestly, watching pirates scramble when their streams suddenly go dark mid-match, that's almost as entertaining as the goals themselves.
From Spain, let's head to France. In May 2025, the Paris Judicial Court handed down a decision that shook the anti-piracy playbook, ordering VPN providers to block access to piracy sites.
That's right, the pirate's invisibility cloak. For years, infringers said, block my site, no problem, I'll just hide behind a VPN. While Canal Plus and the French Football League, the LFP, said, not so fast.
The plaintiffs relied on automated monitoring systems that generated live lists of privacy domains. Their evidence showed that many users were bypassing existing ISP blocks by connecting through VPNs to reach those same illegal sites.
Basically, VPN plus pirate domain equals free match, and Canal Plus had the data to prove it. Their detection crawlers identified hundreds of infringing domains accessible only through VPNs, and the list updated in real time.
The argument was straightforward but bold. If the court really wants to stop piracy, it has to go beyond ISPs and compel VPN providers themselves to act.
And the court agreed. 5 major VPN companies, NordVPN, CyberGhost, Surfshark, ExpressVPN, and ProtonVPN, were ordered to block 203 piracy domains. That's huge.
The order also had a dynamic element. New domains detected by the automated systems could be added to the block list, with VPNs required to comply quickly.
Which is hilarious if you think about it. VPNs sell privacy and freedom, and suddenly they're forced to play bouncer at the door of pirate sites.
The ruling was challenged. The defense argued this was overreach and maybe even a question for EU law. But in July 2025, the Paris court rejected that and kept the blocks in place.
So in France, the message was clear. If you're a VPN and you knowingly provide the tunnel for pirates, you might be legally on the hook.
And the reliance on automated detection to build this domain list shows how central AI-driven monitoring has become in enforcement. It's no longer just catching pirates, it's reshaping obligations for intermediaries.
Honestly, it's like asking the locksmith to rat out anyone who uses their key for a break-in. Poetic, if slightly awkward.
Now we move to Ireland, where the Premier League has been running one of the most ambitious anti-piracy programs in Europe. In 2025, they went back to the High Court to renew their live blocking order.
And live is the key word here. The Premier League doesn't just rely on takedowns after the match. Their tech team uses automated fingerprinting to detect illegal streams as they happen.
The process is fascinating. Each official broadcast is fingerprinted in advance. During a match, detection systems scan streams across the web, compare them to those fingerprints, and identify pirate servers in real time.
Imagine thousands of streams being checked simultaneously and the system instantly saying that one's legit, that one's piracy. Once confirmed, the server gets added to a block list.
And thanks to a standing court order, ISPs in Ireland are legally obliged to block those servers almost immediately.
Which means that if you're watching a free bootleg feed of Manchester United versus Liverpool, there's a good chance your stream will suddenly go black right after kickoff.
In 2025, The Premier League asked for and obtained an extension of this system for the 2025-26 and 2026-27 seasons. The High Court accepted the technical affidavits showing the system's effectiveness and safeguards.
That's 2 more years of legal cover for an AI-driven blocking regime, and courts weren't shy about it. They acknowledged that without these tools, piracy would overwhelm the league's ability to monetize its rights.
It's worth noting that this wasn't just about enforcement. The order balanced proportionality, making sure blocks were targeted, minimizing collateral damage, and giving ISPs procedures if something went wrong.
So pirates might call it censorship, but courts called it necessary protection. And the Premier League scored not just on the field, but in the courtroom.
This case shows how courts are normalizing the use of AI detection in legal remedies, especially for live sports, where timing is everything.
Dynamic justice at its finest, real-time evidence, real-time court power, real-time takedowns.
Still in Ireland, but this time it's not the Premier League, it's UEFA. Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League matches were also getting pirated left and right.
Because of course they were. If Real Madrid is playing Bayern, you know half the world wants in and not everyone is paying.
UEFA went to the Irish High Court with the same strategy the Premier League used. Their evidence came from automated fingerprinting and stream monitoring systems. Each official feed was fingerprinted, and illegal streams detected in real time were matched against that fingerprint.
Once a match went live, the bots were basically running a giant spot the difference game across the internet. Every unauthorized feed got flagged, logged, and sent straight to the ISP's block lists.
The court had already granted UEFA a live blocking order before, but in 2025, they asked for a 2-year extension to cover the 2025-26 and 2026-27 seasons.
And they got it. The court accepted that the detection system was effective, proportionate, and reliable. ISPs were ordered to keep blocking pirate servers in real time during UEFA matches.
This was significant because it showed the Irish courts weren't treating this as an exception. They were institutionalizing AI-assisted live blocking as a normal enforcement tool.
In other words, pirate streams didn't just face a yellow card, they got a straight red. Out of the game instantly.
And together, the Premier League and UEFA cases in Ireland show how courts can adapt injunctions to the speed of infringement using automated detection systems as trusted proof.
2 leagues, 1 country, and a lot of frustrated pirates. If you ask me, Ireland became ground zero for courtroom-backed algorithmic enforcement.
Intangiblia, the podcast of intangible law, plain talk about intellectual property.
Back to Canada, where the federal court made headlines again in 2024 with another dynamic site blocking order, this time targeting live sports piracy on a broad front.
Yeah, this wasn't just about one league or one event. It covered multiple sports, NHL hockey, NBA basketball, and Premier League football, all bundled into a single enforcement scheme.
The broadcasters filed affidavits from their tech partners showing how automated monitoring and video fingerprinting could identify infringing servers during live matches almost instantly.
And here's the clever part. The system didn't just block known pirate sites. It fed new targets into the order as they popped up. Think of it as a court order with a refresh button.
The argument was that piracy is dynamic, so the legal remedy has to be dynamic too. Without automation, rights holders said they'd always be a step behind.
The judge agreed. The order allowed ISPs to block pirate servers within hours, sometimes even minutes of detection. That's as close as law gets to real-time enforcement.
Safeguards were built in, a referee mechanism to address false positives, reporting duties, and judicial oversight. But the bottom line was clear. Courts were comfortable letting AI-assisted detection drive the remedy.
Which is wild if you think about it. For centuries, courts relied on human witnesses. Now, an algorithm's fingerprints are enough to pull the plug on a server.
It's a shift from reactive enforcement to proactive, preventive blocking, and it places AI tools right at the center of the legal process.
Or, to put it in sports terms, the Pirates barely made it out of the locker room before the algorithm sent them off the field.
Earlier, we looked at Canada's Rogers v. John Doe case, but that was just the beginning. In 2024, Canadian video service providers went bigger, way bigger. They asked the court for power to shut down pirate delivery servers across the entire country.
Not just a single injunction, but a system-wide shield. Think Avengers Assemble, but the superheroes are ISPs and the weapon is an algorithm.
The affidavits again came from Friend MTS, whose technology relies on AI-driven fingerprinting and automated stream monitoring. The system identifies illegal feeds during live broadcasts, traces them to delivery servers, and compiles rolling lists of targets.
Which, let's be honest, sounds like a hit list. Here are today's pirates. Your Honor, please authorize deletion.
The argument was that manual enforcement simply couldn't keep up. Pirate streams appeared and disappeared so quickly that by the time a traditional court order was executed, the damage was done.
The broadcasters told the court, if we want to save live sports, the law has to move at algorithm speed.
The federal court agreed. It issued an order empowering ISPs to act almost instantly on detection reports, with oversight mechanisms in place to prevent abuse.
In practice, that meant when Friend MTS flagged a pirate server, Canadian ISPs had legal cover to pull the plug almost right away.
And just like in the Rogers case, safeguards mattered. There were procedures to challenge mistaken blocks, and reports had to be submitted back to the court.
So the outcome? A national coordinated AI-backed enforcement system, one of the strongest anywhere in the world at the time.
It's a clear example of courts trusting automated detection, not just as evidence, but as the trigger for real-time enforcement at scale.
Or to put it bluntly, Canada told pirates, no hockey for you.
Now let's fly to India, home of cricket, and a brand new twist on dynamic blocking. In March 2024, the Delhi High Court granted Viacom 18 a dynamic plus injunction to protect its rights over the Indian Premier League broadcasts.
The IPL draws hundreds of millions of viewers and plenty of pirates eager to cash in with unauthorized streams.
Viacom 18's legal team presented evidence from automated crawlers and AI-powered monitoring systems. These tools scoured the internet during matches, identifying rogue domains, mirror sites, and even apps distributing live feeds.
It's like whack-a-mole on steroids. Every time a new pirate popped up, the bots tagged it, added it to the list, and handed it over to the court.
The argument was that ordinary site blocking couldn't keep pace with piracy. Pirates were too fast, too adaptive. Only a dynamic plus injunction, allowing new sites and apps to be added on the fly, could match the speed of infringement.
And the Delhi High Court agreed. The injunction gave Viacom 18 the power to block not only known sites, but also any future domains or apps identified by its automated detection systems.
Safeguards were built in. Each update had to be verified. Sworn affidavits had to support the detection, and AISPs had clear instructions for compliance.
Which means, in plain terms, that if you tried to stream an IPL match illegally in 2024, chances are your feed got zapped mid-game.
The result was one of the strongest anti-piracy orders in India to date, showing how courts in emerging markets are also embracing AI-assisted enforcement.
Dynamic Justice Cricket Edition, pirates balled out by algorithms.
1 year after the IPL case, India doubled down. In 2025, JioStar, formerly Star India, went to the Delhi High Court to protect its broadcast rights for the cricket teams too of England.
And if you think piracy is wild during the IPL, imagine England playing England. The demand is sky high, and so are the pirate streams.
Just like Viacom 18 the year before, Geostar asked for a Dynamic Plus injunction. They filed affidavits from monitoring teams that use AI upper-powered crawlers to detect new road domains, streaming apps, and even mirror links as soon as they went live.
Think of it as a cricket match where every pirate site is a new batsman walking to the crease. The AI steps in as the bowler, and each illegal feed gets knocked out almost instantly.
The court accepted the argument that ordinary blocking orders weren't enough. Pirates were shifting faster than human teams could respond. Automated detection, updated in real time, was the only way to keep pace.
And the Delhi High Court granted it. The order covered not only known infringing sites, but also any new ones flagged by the automated system during the tour. ISPs were directed to block them immediately.
The decision reinforced India's embrace of AI-assisted enforcement. It showed courts were willing to institutionalize Dynamic Plus injunctions as a regular tool, not just an experiment.
So if you were hoping to catch a free India Ma's England stream in 2025, chances are you got bowled out before the second over.
Beyond the cricket jokes, the bigger picture is clear. India is building a precedent where automated detection systems don't just inform enforcement, they actively drive it.
Dynamic justice Indian style. And here, the algorithm didn't just play umpire, it was the entire bowling attack.
We're back in Europe, where La Liga isn't just fighting piracy at home in Spain, it's exporting its strategy abroad. In 2024, La Liga took its battle to Paris, targeting ISPs in France.
Because let's be honest, French fans love Spanish football too. El Clasico, that's not just from Madrid and Barcelona. Cafes in Paris stream it too, sometimes through, let's call them alternative channels.
La Liga's legal team presented evidence from its automatic monitoring systems, showing dozens of websites and EPTV services illegally broadcasting matches to French audiences.
And here's where the AI comes in. The detection tools didn't just find one or two streams, they tracked whole networks, mirror domains, and IPTV feeds, mapping the pirate ecosystem like a digital crime scene.
The argument was clear. Without a dynamic blocking order, piracy in France would continue to thrive. They needed the court to authorize ISPs to block infringing sites as soon as they were detected, not months later.
The Paris court agreed. In May 2024, it granted La Liga a dynamic site blocking order. That meant ISPs had to block infringing websites immediately upon being flagged, with new domains added on a rolling basis.
The order mirrored the model La Liga pioneered in Spain, showing how courts are willing to trust AI-powered monitoring as the foundation for enforcement in other jurisdictions.
Which basically means French pirates had a short-lived fete. One moment you're streaming a La Liga match, the next, poof, the algorithm turned off the lights.
This case reinforced the idea that automated detection systems can be transnational tools, not just helping in one country, but convincing courts abroad to follow the same model.
Dynamic justice on tour. From Spain to France, the algorithm is playing away games and still winning. And
to wrap up, let's head to the UK and Ireland, not for a courtroom drama this time, but for something more subtle. Transparency pages published by internet providers.
Sounds boring, right? A web page with legal disclaimers, but wait, those pages reveal just how normal AI-driven blocking orders have become.
Providers like EE and PlusNet publish court orders they're bound to follow. And if you check in 2025, you'll see something striking. Live blocking obligations for Premier League and UEFA matches, running straight through to the 2026-27 season.
Which means every weekend while fans watch football, algorithms are working in the background, fingerprinting feeds, identifying pirate servers, and sending updates to ISPs in real time.
Courts authorize it, ISPs enforce it, and the transparency pages confirm it. What once seemed experimental AI-empowered blocking is now routine.
Honestly, it's like checking the weather report. Today's forecast, scattered showers, Premier League blocking orders in effect.
Bigger point, this isn't just about one flash injunction in Canada or Spain. Across jurisdiction, AI detection is now baked into the daily mechanics of IP enforcement.
It's gone from headline grabbing to housekeeping, which in some ways makes it even more powerful.
And that's why we call this episode Dynamic Justice. Courts are learning to move at algorithm speed, and ISPs are publishing the proof for everyone to see.
Pirates beware, the algorithm never sleeps, and apparently neither do lawyers.
So we've traveled from Toronto to Delhi, Madrid to Dublin, and Paris to London, and what we've seen is clear. Sports piracy isn't just a nuisance anymore, it's a full-scale legal battleground.
And the MVP? Algorithms. AI-driven fingerprinting, stream monitoring, and automated crawlers have become the star players in these court victories.
Courts are adapting too. Instead of waiting months for traditional lawsuits, they're granting dynamic, real-time orders. Piracy happens in minutes, and now so does enforcement.
Which is both thrilling and a little scary. The algorithm is now whistleblower, referee, and sometimes even executioner.
True. And while these cases show powerful wins for rights holders, they also raise deeper questions about proportionality, due process, and whether automation should really be the front line of justice.
But one thing's for sure, if you're streaming illegally, you might want to keep a backup snack because your screen could go dark before halftime.
That's the game today. Algorithms are protecting hockey rinks, basketball courts, football pitches, and cricket fields, and courts are backing them up.
Dynamic justice indeed. Takeaways.
1. AI as referee. Courts are increasingly trusting AI-powered detection systems from fingerprinting to crawlers as reliable evidence in IP enforcement.
2. Dynamic blocking is the new norm. Injunctions in Canada, Spain, Ireland, and India show a shift toward real-time, rolling enforcement that adapts as pirates adapt.
3. Sports lead the way. Football dominates these cases, but cricket, hockey, and basketball are also central, making sports a global testing ground for AI-driven IP protection.
4. Intermediaries in the spotlight. ISPs and now even VPNs are being pulled into enforcement, with court orders requiring them to block sites dynamically based on AI detection.
5. Law at algorithm speed. The biggest shift isn't just the tech, it's the legal mindset. Courts are starting to accept that enforcement must move as fast as infringement, even if that means letting AI drive the process. That's all for today's match on Intangiblia.
We've seen AI step onto the field, the court, the pitch, and even the cricket ground, not as a player, but as the referee calling piracy out of bounds.
12 cases, 5 continents, and 1 clear message. IP enforcement is moving at algorithm speed.
So whether you're a fan cheering in the stands or a lawyer drafting in the office, remember, the algorithm might already be ahead of you.
Thank you for joining us.
Until next time, play fair and stay protected.
Thank you for listening to Intangiblia, the podcast of intangible law, plain talk about intellectual property. Did you like what we talked today? Please share with your network. Do you want to learn more about intellectual property? Subscribe now on your favorite podcast player. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Visit our website www.intangiblia.com. Copyright Leticia Caminero 2020. All rights reserved. This podcast is provided for information purposes only.